Alright, just checking out a Holden Cruze. This is 2011 Holden Cruze Turbo 1.4. Just a bit of an issue on startup, a bit of a rough start, etc. So I'm just checking a few things before we get too far and before we even try and run the engine. First thing I notice, got a bit of a coolant leak around the expansion bottle down here. Been dripping down onto the transmission. There's a nice pink bolt down there, down onto the ABS unit. It appears to be leaking from the bottle. I haven't done any sort of cooling system checks as yet. We'll check that out in a minute. Taking the coil pack out just to suss out plugs, etc. So we'll pull the plugs out shortly. Coil pack sort of looks okay. I don't see any signs of arcing or anything from the boots, misfires or anything like that. A little bit of colour. We've got two cylinders. Whether it's going to focus. Look okay inside there. A little bit of colour in that one. A little bit in that. But we did have a leaky valve cover gasket, bad PCV regulator. It's had a PCV bypass done as well. We probably won't be able to see it. There's a new PCV valve underneath the manifold there. Bypass the original internal one. It's been fairly good since, but just some issues are starting to arise again. I've just hooked up a vacuum gun to the purge solenoid just to check if we have any flow there whilst everything's switched off, disconnected. Looks like we've got a bit of a leak through the purge solenoid. So if I try and create some vacuum on this, it's just leaking straight back down. I'm not sure whether I can do it on the video or not. If I disconnect this, try and block it. Vacuum gauge works, vacuum gun works fine. So first step, I need to look at running it with the this evap hose disconnected, and then we'll see what sort of flow we've got with the engine running. Likely that can cause a bit of a lean issue on cold starts and a rich issue on warm run. So we'll suss that out, and we'll see if we can clean it, get it working. Otherwise it's definitely just something we just replace. They're a fairly common issue on a lot of cars. So alright, I'll just pause this here. A few more checks that I'll do and I'll come back to you shortly. Alright, I'm just going to do a CO2 leak test on this. So we'll get the leak tester out. A bit of pressure by the sound of that there. I want to stick this on in pretty quick if we can. It's looking okay so far. Doesn't seem to be turning yellow. That's a reasonably good sign. So likely just a leak at this bottle. So leaking, and then the coolant's been getting a bit low. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I've just pulled the spark plugs out. I'm just going to get my camera down inside and boroscope down in there and just see what what things look like inside. Make sure that we don't see any signs of coolant leaking into the cylinders. The CO2 test looks okay. Okay, so I shall be back shortly. Alright, just checking out this expansion bottle a bit further. Header tank, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure of how easy this is going to be to film. Just looking with the mirror underneath, there's actually a couple of small cracks in the corner here. Just try and zoom in on that area. Right in that corner there, we can see there's a crack across into the corner, to the left. Come on, focus. And it looks like a crack sort of protruding from that corner one way. Hopefully you can see it there. I can hold it steady. And it runs across into this corner. And just a very small hairline crack by the look of it. Two or three cracks, in fact, kind of propagating from the corner around. Anyway, I'm going to have to pause this. Next thing I'm going to do is get the boroscope down into the cylinders. But unfortunately, I have to use the Bluetooth on my phone and either direct to my phone, record onto that, or I'm going to try and set the tablet up, and then I might be able to film that. But I need to also download an app for my tablet. So we'll see how we go. Now my screen is just gone dark, so we'll just pause this. I'll be back shortly.